here we are, Whitehorse. We're going to take the Alaska Highway, and then we're going to get on the 2, which is known as the Klondike Highway. This was the route. This was like you wanted to take a steamer up the coast there from Seattle, Vancouver, San Francisco. This is where you would have landed in Skagway, and then you would have had one of two options. You would have taken the White Pass, or you take the Chilkoot if you didn't have as much money. Take Chikoot Pass over to Bennett Lake, and then on to the Yukon River, right down the Yukon River, through Miles Canyon, Whitehorse Rapids, then up to Five Finger Rapids, and then on to Dawson. So we're gonna go to Skagway. We're gonna go across the border, and we're gonna go see what it's like, because everybody talks about Dawson, and like Dawson's nice and stuff. You know, I like Dawson, but Skagway is just as cool in a different way. Alrighty guys, here we are, Klondike Highway number 2, driving through the St. Elias Mountains, the highest coastal mountain range on Earth. Some of these mountains are 15,000 feet plus, guys. They're massive. They're absolutely huge. They make the mountains down south look like little babies. We're heading to Skagway, the great port of the gold rush, where everybody converged and went on. There's Dyea and the Chilkoot Pass, the White Pass Railway, all the transportation for the Klondike. We're heading to the coast. We'll be on the ocean again. We're going to cross the border fairly soon here into the States. Here's the silver mine. Coming up here. So if you followed this highway, eventually it would take you up to Dawson City. The Goldfields, right? The Klondike Goldfields. That's the Klondike. We're not in the Klondike now, but this is the route to get to the Klondike. We're literally going to cross the border soon. There's not like border control right away. There's border control a couple kilometers in, but it's not like Hyder. There is actually U.S. border patrol here. We're heading into Alaska. Just absolutely ridiculous scenery, guys. Like it's hard to describe, you know? I got changed to miles per hour now, because I have no idea what that is in kilometers. British Columbia. So we're passing through BC now, and then we will, right at the very end, we got to pass through the American border there. We're not quite yet. We're coming into BC, so we just drove through the Yukon. We're now in BC. We're going to stop at Fraser, the station of Fraser, White Pass Yukon Railway. Once the railway was built, it kind of made everything a lot easier to get over the mountains, right? Because you had to do the White Pass or the Chilkoot before. But the gold rush was kind of over at that point. So, and it's behind too the time zone. It's 9:30 right now in the morning, and I've got an hour left of driving, and it says I'm going to get to Skagway at 9:30 in the morning. So clearly we're an hour behind, which is interesting. I didn't realize that Skagway was actually an hour behind Pacific time, which makes sense. Alrighty guys, so White Pass, it's snowing. Of course it's snowing in the White Pass. So we got the border now. Glad I got my winter tires on though, holy. I don't want to be driving in this, it's 0 degrees right now. You can see the snow markers too. The border crossing's just like 8 kilometers past the border there. Dead Horse Gulch should be here. Feels different. It's crazy. It totally feels different here. Cleared border control. It's always interesting. I always feel super nervous going through the border just because, you know, I don't know. Customs is always difficult that way. But anyways, we cleared customs now. That's where we're headed. We're going to go to Dyea, guys. Dyea, the Chilkoot. We got to do Dyea first. That's the way it's gonna go here. The golden stairs, that iconic picture you see of everybody climbing up a 45-degree angle with their material. So there was 2 routes to get into the Yukon. There was the Chikoot Pass, which is the Chilkoot Indian Trail, which was how they found out about the Chilkoot Pass. And that's the one you see with everybody having to carry their supplies up and down, because the Canadian Mounties Sam Steele as well. Sam Steele was at the top of the pass there because they were worried about mass starvation, and so they said you got to have a year's worth of supplies or 2,000 pounds or 1 ton, right? So it wasn't so much that you had to hike it once, it was that you had to hike it 30 times. Alrighty guys, here we are, Dyea. We made it. Port town of the Chilkoot Trail. During the Klondike Rush, stampeders swarmed over Dyea's wharves. The noise, hustle, and bustle of the port town rivaled much larger settlements. Tlingit packers began their trading expeditions here, and a village was established with a trading post run by John J. Healy and Edgar Wilson in 1884. The tiny hamlet quickly grew into a town of approximately 8,000 people, as fortune seekers who chose Dyea offloaded tons of supplies in the boom town. The town's shallow harbor and inadequate port facilities, a devastating avalanche, and the ending of the Klondike Gold Rush itself were reasons for the eventual decline. The final blow to Dyea came that same year with the construction of a 110-mile White Pass and Yukon Railway, linking Skagway to Whitehorse, Canada. By 1902, the Dyea post office closed and only a few families homesteaded here. A road to Skagway was completed in 1948. Chilkoot Trail. During the winter of 1897-98, the Chilkoot Trail became a highway. Once a trade route for Alaskan Native and First Nations people, the trail was now a major artery. As thousands of stampeders headed north to Dawson City, this area became a bottleneck. In Dyea, stampeders stopped sailing and started walking, bridging the gap between the ocean and the Yukon River. Trail profile, guys, look at it. Trailhead, right? And it starts off not too bad. And you start walking, right? Pleasant Camp, Sheep Camp, Alaska, right? Just before the summit there, or just before you start to go up. And then look at how steep it is. Dyea. The scow anchor is about a mile from shore. There we have to wait until the tide goes out before you can get to shore. The company lands your freight at high water marks for you to claim. You have to keep both eyes open or someone else will take your freight for you. Absolutely crazy here. It's bonkers. See the old town site of Dyea is over there somewhere. The Chilkoot Trail up over there. Magical experience, magical place. The word Dyea means to pack. The Chilkoot Trail started here and crossed one of the few ice-free passes available for hundreds of miles. Travel by canoe was necessary as no overland trails between these locations existed. During the gold rush of 1897-98, the Dyea Inlet became a busy transportation corridor for travelers heading to the Klondike. Steamships departing from Seattle and San Francisco sailed the inside passage. At Skagway, a deep water port was available, but here at Dyea, the bay was shallow. Steamships stopped far offshore, and goods and passengers were loaded onto the boats called lighters. The town of Dyea boomed rapidly from a Tlingit village to a busy gold rush supply town. From here, stampeders carried loads of supplies up the famous Chilkoot Trail and over the pass to the headwaters of the Yukon River. Imagine the noise and chaos of hundreds of stampeders unloading their supplies on the tidal mud flats. Yeah. There's the town site of Dyea as well, just across the bridge there. Just walking on the trail now. Basically what you would do, you'd come to the foot here of the trail, hike the trail up to the top, and then once you got to the top, there'd be Mounties there, Royal Mounted Police, not just any Royal Mounted Police. Sam Steele was there to greet you, and then Sam Steele would ask you, or they'd check your manifest, make sure you had a year's worth of supplies, right? A year's worth of food. If you didn't, well, you had to go back, pick more up. So you had to do it over and over and over and over and over again, right? 20, 30 times you're taking a 60, 70 pound bag with you up the Chilkoot. You get there, you store your stuff, you come back down, you do it again, and you do it again, and you do it again, and you do it again. The thing that was hard about it wasn't that you had to do it, wasn't the Chilkoot Pass itself that was difficult. The Chilkoot Pass itself had its own trouble. What the problem was that how many times you had to do it, because the Mounties would not let you in. They would not let you in. Sam Steele was right up there too. If you haven't seen Fort Steele, check Fort Steele out so you know what he's all about. And if you did not have the prescribed amount of provisions, you were sent back down to go get more, right? And it was known as the poor man's route because people that were more affluent took the White Pass route, right? They hired horses and they because it wasn't as steep and it wasn't as rugged. It's still quite rugged, but you could actually have horses, right, to haul your goods for you. So it saved a lot of work. But if you didn't have the money, you took the Chilkoot Pass, and that's what they do. So the Chilkoot Trail, often called the world's longest outdoor museum, its many relics tell a story of change and transition. The trail has seen many uses. What began as a Tlingit trade route later served as a gold rush trail and an industrial corridor. Now it is a recreational destination. Is that in French? It is in French. Oh, wow. Look at that, eh? Even in America, they got some French here for us. Klondike Gold Rush International Historic Park. All persons utilizing the Chilkoot Trail must report to the Canadian Border Services Agency immediately upon completion of the hike. CBSA, Fraser, Port of Entry, 36.5 kilometers South Klondike Highway, Fraser, British Columbia. Open till midnight. Chilkoot Trail, let's go. Let's do a little bit of it. Like I said, I'm not walking all the way to sheep camp or going up, but you follow this eventually, it'll take you to the top of the Chilkoot and then take you down to Lake Bennett. And then from Lake Bennett, you'd have to build a boat on the Yukon River and ascend. The Chilkoot Trail in Dyea has been designated a National Historic Landmark. This site possesses national significance in commemorating the history of the United States of America. This was big for America. Let's do a little bit of it. Let's at least do a little bit of the hike, then we can say we've done the Chilkoot a little bit. It's slippery here. Looks like it's been kind of developed over the years, eh? Yeah. Oh. So imagine hiking your pack, 60 pounds. And this is not even the bad part, guys. We're just getting started here. 75 feet up. How do we get here? The Chilkoot Trail. Oh, there we go. Up a little bit more. You got to do a little bit of it at least, eh? Say you've done it. Oh, nice. Trail registry. So I'll stop here because I don't have the permit for it, but you get the idea. You hike all the way up to the top of the pass, and then you start your descent down. And as you descend down, you come to Lake Bennett. So happy we made it here. So can't do it all in a day, right? But at least document some of this stuff. This is the trail. This is what these guys would have been hiking. I'm sure it's better than it was before. It's quite worse. But imagine hiking your bag of stuff up and down 20, 30 times, because the Mounties, they're worried about everybody starving, right? Starvation. So they made you pack 2,000 pounds or 1 ton of material. And if you didn't have it, well, then you had to go back down and get more, right? And that was just the reality of the situation. Whereas the White Pass is still very historic and it has its own set of things, but it was much easier, guys, for the people that were doing it. The Chilkoot Trail, the people that did this trail, they never forgot it, right? Jack London, the famous writer, he did it. And he never forgot what he saw on here, right? It was a life-changing experience for a lot of guys. It could have made a lot of people into millionaires. Like, they thought it was a really easy route until they had to take all that material with them. We did a bit of the Chilkoot Trail, just a smidge, just a little tidbit of her. This is a couple days ordeal. We've got to have hiking equipment. It's just nice to be here. You can feel the history. You can feel what it was like, eh? Imagine just being here back in the day. Like many places throughout the United States, what was viewed as discovery and opportunity for wealth from the perspective of American culture was the invasion of traditional territory of the indigenous population. Many organizations celebrate the Klondike Gold Rush without recognizing that it marked a time of tremendous suffering, loss, and oncoming oppression for Skagway's first people. The coming of the gold rush and the breakup of traditional native territory divided families, clans, and traditions. Traditional land ownership included Tlingit control of the Chilkoot Trail and the recognized right to charge outsiders. The hope exists that this trail, which has become a difficult symbol for people divided, may once again become a symbol of unity, growth, and sharing for all people who live within its shadow. We look forward to a time when we will have, as promised, an equal partnership as stewards of this place that is important to both of our histories and so important to our history together. Our people have much to offer the Yukon Territory, Canada, and the United States. It will be good to honor together how our heritage met 100 years ago. We will be good to repair what has been damaged and move forward together. It will be good to see this trail and this land cared for in ways of our tradition. It will be good to see people moving on our land who respect and understand the difficult heritage we share. So it was not easy. People died on the trail, like they just said, right? There's been a lot of stuff that's gone down here. And that's what I want to do with my channel, and that's what I like doing, is documenting this stuff for you guys, showing everybody, like, look, this is what happened, you know? This is the way it was back in the day. And, you know, it's changed now, and a lot of the things that we benefit from today came because of the sacrifices and the struggles that these stampeders, the natives, like everybody, they all made incredible sacrifices back in the day for all of this to happen. And so it's super important to preserve all of this and make sure that we really acknowledge how hard it was and how much of an accomplishment it was, frankly, to actually do this, right? Hiking that trail 25, 30 times to get all your supplies, you know, it's a big deal, guys. It's not to be taken lightly at all. We started here and went like uphill, you know, we did it like this part. That's the map, Dyea, Alaska there. You are here, trailhead 0 km. Finnegan's Point, Canyon City Campground, Pleasant Camp, Sheep Camp, Scales, Summit, Happy Camp, Deep Lake, Lindman City, Bear Loon Lake, and Benefit. There, them hiking the Golden Stairs there. And then there's them doing that, getting ready to go. The trail enters a cul-de-sac, climbing higher and higher. The valley seems to end. A precipitous wall of gray rock reaching into the sky seems to head off farther progress, seaming its jagged contour against the sky. A great barrier, uncompromising, forbidding the Chilkoot Pass. Tappan Adney, 1897. These photos were taken 2 days apart and show the dramatic weather that can change in the Chilkoot. Be prepared for wind, rain, snow, ice, flooding, heat, sun, and avalanches. Right, so that's the two different ones. When you're hiking that trail, you're in prime grizzly bear territory, right? So you just want to make noise, be loud. Just leaving the Chilkoot Trail now. On our way to Skagway now. So that was great, guys. Chilkoot Pass. It's cool to see that kind of history. Very, very historic place, you know. So it's important to preserve it. I'm impressed they had French there. That really, I'm actually really impressed with it. Didn't expect that in America, you know. Coming into Skagway now, 9 kilometers left. It really puts into perspective what these stampeders had to go through to come see everything. Back on a paved road here. I think this is a viewpoint of Skagway. Classic. I love the name Skagway. Oh yeah, there's a cruise ship in there too. So this is Skagway, guys. This is now where we're heading. So we're gonna spend the afternoon here. Skagway. Welcome to Skagway, everyone. Skagway, Alaska. Alrighty, guys, so we're here in Skagway. It's very much like Dawson, guys. This is what Dawson's like. Except the streets aren't paved. They don't pave the streets in Dawson. But the Pantheon, Klondike Gold National Historic Park. We're on the ocean though, guys, Lynn Canal. I figured there'd be more places to grab a bite, but not really the case there. This is the one place I found, the Glacial Coffee House, but it looks like there's a pretty serious lineup coming out the door. Don't know if we're gonna be eating anything. It's off season, right? Even though it looks still quite busy here, but it's off season, so not everything's open. It's the mountains. Skagway News Depot, local art, museum, lots of trinkets and gift shops here, guys. There's no shortage of that, so don't worry. Oh, yeah.
Hello again.
How are you?
Good, how are you doing?
Yeah, not bad. That's the cabin they built. William Moore there on the dock, out here, all by himself, with a cabin and a dock and a dream of the gold rush. It's quite a character, man, that guy. He's been all around BC too. He's been everywhere. It's thanks to him that we have Skagway. A war of wills, Skagway as a frontier town, and the demise of Mooresville. Beginning in 1897, gold rush fever propelled thousands of hopeful prospectors to Mooresville, which despite the homestead quickly became a crowded tent city. The Moors maintained an early hold on the traffic up the White Pass Trail, but their control was ultimately overrun between 5,000 and 6,000 stampeders by fall. The emerging town was called Skagway, from the Tlingit word. In November, the newly established U.S. Post Office recognized Skagway rather than Mooresville as the official name. In January 1898, the unofficial town council authorized a survey to bring order to the burgeoning mosaic of land claims, buildings, trails, and roads, and more importantly, to incorporate and establish a street grid. But that's it, guys. This is going to close out our stop here for Skagway. This is the cabin. William Moore's cabin. Just him and the dock at Skagway. And the hope of a gold rush. What a guy, man. We're leaving Skagway now. Getting back on the 98, which is then going to turn into the 2. Then we got the border. We're going to be back in Canada. So. We're going to say goodbye to America now. This is it. This is the border. We're leaving. Came in Nally this morning. We're now leaving. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed Skagway. It's going to be it for me. Like and subscribe to the channel. Sasquatch Prospector.